Are we not on camera?
Well, yeah, they can see us. They can't see them because Zoom is loading.
Okay, I
Got it.
call the meeting to order. All right, Ally, you want to take attendance, please?
Craig Leggett,
Here.
Dan Bruno,
Here.
Dave O'Brien.
Here.
The quorum, we have 3 out of 4.
Potential project updates. We still got people that are looking to lease. One is CHP, which I'm moving this morning. They are looking for a large part of the site. I'll hold off on talking that for a little bit later in terms of it. Okay. So delineation update, Tom, have you heard more about the delineation update? I know they got that AJD, which I got communication from John Connell. It probably won't be until September that it's going to be done because of the process of going through. I talked to Dan Washburn. They're looking for a building to rent. They got sort of forced out of well, the current place that they have their office. They are being requested to leave as soon as possible. It's in the father-in-law's house. The father-in-law is no longer involved in the business. So
What's the business?
Hilltop
Oh,
Construction.
Hilltop. Thank you.
Rent a building for a year. They still want to go forward with the property. He explained to me what they wanted with the property. Is really nice. They want to have a showcase there, so when people go by, they see their work. They want to also probably purchase the property and then put a temporary driveway and put some storage bins in there so they can take care of the storage bins there. So that looks positive. So I was about ready to get a hold of some Congress people to help figure out what's going on there and help push them along. But then when he said that, I said, well, let's not use those cards yet because we've got time. So we'll see. But the delineation, there's absolutely no reason why it won't go through. It's just the process they take. It has to go. He was going to finish up his part last week. Then it was going to go to his boss. From his boss, I had to go to EPA for a 21-day comment period. And then it finally gets signed off on. So he figured September. I figured probably December before that happens. So that's the update on that. But any more about the rest of the rest of it? Can't hear you.
Muted, sorry. I know Steve was working on the rest of it and he thought that would go smoother because it didn't have as long a review process. So maybe it'll all be done in parallel.
Okay, good, thank you. The other thing that happened was, Dan, I think you talked to a solar company,
Yeah,
Regos.
he sent a proposal, which I don't have in front of me. I thought he copied you, but anyway, I just got it, haven't reviewed it. I'll send it around, people can look at it.
So what they'd like to do is they'd like to put solar in that back 40 that we're going to declare forever wild anyways. So maybe usage. Kingsbury Town Law allows that as long as there's X number of percentage of property that's wetlands, it can't be used. So I think we qualify there. If not, we'll see what happens, but that'd be a good part income to that happens. So we'll see. Anything else from the park, Mike?
Either park or just airport?
Either park.
The only addition that I have this would be for Canal Side, is that Grasshopper has taken possession of keys, so they have access to Canal Side to begin their brush maintenance when we're on the schedule, which that was a couple weeks ago, so I anticipate probably another couple of weeks. I don't have anything for the airport, no.
Okay. We did find Everett out there over the weekend, stopped in Saturday to do something. And he found that the gates are, there was two big not SUVs. What are they called?
Harvey?
ATVs
ATVs.
down by the railroad building. He tried to catch it, but he couldn't. But now we're going to keep some of the gates closed so people can't come in. They're coming down that rail trail that's supposed to be the greatest thing in the world. They're getting in the park that way. So we'll have to put more they're going to put more cameras up there so we can track them and hopefully pick it up. But so that's the status on that.
Question, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
Do we have the property properly signed?
I believe so. I got to go down there today, but I'll check. I know there's signs down there. I gotta go check that again.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions on that?
Our electric all set up.
Our electric, we are still waiting for, I finally got the way back to get the approval to use the gate coming in and out on East Street. I submitted that. He's in no rush. He says it's summertime. It does bother me now. It's the wintertime it's there. So he's still in to go. As soon as he got it straightened out, the engineer had a misunderstanding. So the engineer was holding up on stuff. So now that we sort of got that straightened out, I think it'll move smoother. So we'll see. Any other questions on that? Okay, next item is approve the June 8, 2022 minutes for the IDA Executive Part. Could I have a motion? Motion by Craig. Do I have a second?
So move.
Dan? All in favor?
Aye.
So. So, Mike, up to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning, everybody. A few highlights since our monthly board meeting. Addressed the Glens Falls Rotary Club a couple weeks ago. That was a success. Couple of inquiries have followed up that I'm trying to schedule to meet up with. They want to talk about potential projects. I did meet with a potential client in collaboration with Warren County EDC a couple of weeks ago. They're purchasing a building over in the Cary Park facility. Waiting for a few more details on that, but that's a potential project coming down the pipeline. I actually have a meeting today with another potential company that's doing some expansion to see if we are a fit with them for our programs. And the last highlight is I met with the owner of the B&B on the Green to see if they were interested in hosting another economic development forum as a follow-up to the one we had in Salem in April. This would be targeted more for the fall, once we get out of the summer months and people aren't on vacation, et cetera. So for better attendance, they're interested. There is a charge if we're interested in pursuing that, which I have to speak with the chairman about and see if it's something we want to move forward with, and obviously set a date and make sure that the proper notifications go out to all of our economic development partners and obviously elected officials and the business community, so we could get a good attendance there. And those are the four highlights that I wanted to make sure that I brought up to the board today.
And Mike did a good job at the Rotary meeting. Problem was, he had another IDA, ex-president of Glens Falls IDA there to ask questions. He knew the right questions to ask. But Mike handled them okay. So gotta watch out for those sleepers in there. Okay. Canal Side Energy Park updates. Looking at it. Potential leases. We talked about now is that, can I share my screen, Ally?
Have you tried?
Just try and make sure I have the right ones. I think I got the right one. If not, I got another one here. So what CHP wants to do is they want to lease some areas. Originally, they're going to lease a part of WCC's, and they've changed their mind. They want to do as much as they can on our site, which is halfway good news. I'm going to switch the screen because I need the other one that I've got here. Okay, so here's one of the potential areas they're looking at. I'm going to meet them down there this morning. But essentially, they want pretty much all this area here. If I can zoom in a little bit, let me try.
Orient us here, what we're looking at.
This is right inside the gate. This is where that single trailer is right here. This
I don't
is,
see your arrow.
this is back in 2013. I don't know why the arrow's not showing up, but
This is the wharf.
that's the wharf over here on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side.
Railroad tracks over.
Railroad tracks over here. You can't see my,
Trailer is like in this general vicinity right here.
Okay, and the bigger buildings are over.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
This
Yeah.
is, and this is the road coming in here.
so by scrolling down a little farther, you'll see here's the grassy area by the small building in here. They wanted to also rent the small warehouse building. I told them I really couldn't because that's for sale. And we can't lock it up for 3 years, is essentially the term lease they're looking at. And I said, the best we could do is a month-to-month lease on that. The company said we wouldn't do a month-to-month lease, so that's sort of out. Then he asked about this area here. Again, this area here,
That's not showing up.
I don't see anything. I
Neither
see
do
a
I.
map, but I don't see your pointer at all.
you got the wrong map. I gotta switch maps. Okay. Now, which one was I looking at?
That one has the red on it.
That one has red on it. Okay, here's a big map. You see the red area here?
Yes.
That's all the area where the bins are. We call the bins. He was asking about that area. Again, we have a decision to make. I mean, they're looking for a 3-year lease on this. They're looking for about 8 acres. My problem with this, if we lease those to them on a 3-year basis, we're essentially saying that this property is not available. And I'm not sure we want to do that. I mean, good income stream, but you know, I'm going to open up for discussion. But also, if you go down through here, this was the original. The original was, oh shucks. The original was CCW, you're going to take WCCs, and then you're going to take the long rectangle in the parking area to rent that for office space and construction trailers there, because they got the PDC with the electricity there plus the water. So that's what they were originally looking at. Now it's matured into more or less like this. Also including across from this triangle with the big parking area. They want the road across the street there, the grassy area across the street there, so. And I'm trying to talk to them, I said, you want this, you need to come down all the way down through here. All the way, see where the trailers are at the top of the screen?
Yes.
Along those trailers, you go right down to almost the railroad tracks and come across and then come across all the way. So we incorporate that entire area into one place. That would give it to them. They're also interested in the 34,000 cubic yards of dirt, which if they can get rid of it, we'd be more thankful because that will open up 3 to 5 acres of it. But, you know, the area where the grass is, I don't know why my pointer's not showing up.
It is up, way out of the screen. There it is.
Yeah, but I'll go to the picture, it swaps, so I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah,
Crosshairs.
Yeah, it goes to crosshairs, you can't see the crosshairs, sorry. So basically this area here, that entire area, you know, I think that we can get in there and take care of that, so. I mean, does the rest of the board concur with me that we really don't want to tie up the air, or do you have a difference in opinion? I don't want to tie up the building or the other area, because that's one of the most favorable parts, and that's the one that we have a company, agriculture was looking at either buying that or renting that.
so
So
what kind of compromise can they make? What do they want?
I couldn't hear you.
So what kind of compromise can you make? What could they take as a lesser, you know, whatever?
Everything from red area up.
That's all they'll take.
That's
They
all.
won't run it- they won't do anything less.
Unless we want to tie up the building in that parking area there for 3 years.
What's the possibility, the potential for using it in that 3 years? Good?
Using it 3 years. If someone comes in and wants to buy it, we got a 3-year lease on it. We got
But
zero opportunity.
the old one in the hand is worth two in the bush. Does that come in? If we got somebody also right now who wants to give us money for that red, and we have to gamble that parking spot, is that a good gamble or a bad gamble?
Personally, if that ag firm wants it, they want that area too. They want to purchase it.
Same company?
Pardon?
The same company you said?
It's an agricultural company.
Okay, yeah.
It talks about wanting the small building and some of that area there.
And they would take advantage of the rail line.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know, bird in hand, yes, but isn't our objective to get this back on the tax rolls?
Yes.
And do we want to lock it up? I mean, the rest of the area would be subject to lease. But not play it by ear. The other thing we do is say, we're only going to rent you this part area. You'll have to go to WCC's laydown area.
Mhm.
They would prefer do everything on the IDA park.
Flip.
My feeling is do the area from the red line up and keep the rest of it.
Red
And
line.
they would have enough space in there. Things could be reconfigured if they needed more area for their materials and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
You always go 50 yards to the west to WCC's and use the property.
Uh-huh.
Question the area above the red. I know you said this is a picture from 2013. So what does that area above the red there look like now?
All those two storm ponds and the stormwater drains and the runoff drains, they're still there. Those ponds are still there.
Okay. I agree with the spirit that we want to be careful not to do something that will forego a bigger opportunity later on. Is there anything with the wharf property instead of What the red area, what do they want to use that for?
A laydown area, probably equipment storage.
Could they use the wharf area?
Let me put it this way. We've been working for 2.5 months to get permission to go in and out that southern gate. It would probably take probably take 6 months to a year, and they're gonna start construction pretty soon. So, I mean, they can talk to the wharf, they can talk to the Canal Corp, and Canal Corp is dragging their heels because they just took over that property, and they're trying to figure out the long-range strategy of it.
Yeah.
And they're looking to get people in. We've got a company coming in that may want to use it for shipping stuff out on the barges. So, yeah, stone, aggregate. So all in concurrence, we're gonna offer them what we can and keep the other stuff for potential purchasers. Any objection?
Oh,
No.
Seems like the integrity of the main portion of the canal park, the integrity is important. So our goal is to sell it, so we should continue to stick with that goal. If we were up in between a rock and a hard place, if the oncoming recession was already here, we may be looking at it differently.
Absolutely. But we also have a company that was there 2 years ago. Here's another question. Actually, we better do that one in executive session because it talks about money. Any new business for Executive Park? Okay, good. I'll adjourn the ID Executive Park. We have no CDC Executive Park, and I'll call a special meeting to order. Ally, could you please take attendance?
Craig Leggett,
Here,
Brian Campbell,
here.
Ginny Sullivan,
Here.
Chuck Barton,
Here,
Dan Bruno,
Here,
Mary King, Mary's not here, Nick Caimano,
Yes,
Dave
Here.
LaBonte.
Here. Thank you. All right, we already talked about potential CHP lease. Dan, we got an engineering agreement for phase 2 of the sewer study. Remember, this is 100% paid for by 100% reimbursement through our NBRC grant. Dan, could you please go over that agreement quickly? I sent it out to the rest of the group this morning. Dan?
yeah, I'll have to pull it up. I don't have it right here in front of me. Hang on.
Okay.
I'm getting there.
okay, this
Okay,
is,
this is the technical services change order for development of sanitary sewer engineers report Canal Side Energy Park. LaBelle Associates, pleased to provide this technical services change order associated with addressing the development of an engineer's report, providing sanitary sewer service to Canal Side Energy Park. The project understanding, our conversation with New York State DEC, the next step in this project are to develop an engineer's report to describe the improvements necessary to extend sanitary sewer service to the industrial park. The New York State DEC has verbally indicated that a, quote, a concurrent project that reduces infiltration and inflow, that's I&I, to the combined sewer system tributary to the same downstream CSO regulator can be proposed. That's combined sewer outflow. In addition, New York State DEC have stipulated that the concurrent project should reduce I&I by a minimum of 4 times the average dry weather flow associated with a canal side project. Given that the canal side project is targeting an average daily flow of 100,000 GDP, the concurrent project would therefore need to yield a reduction of I&I of 400,000 GDP. Our intention is therefore to develop an engineer's report detailing both the project itself and the associated I&I reduction project. The detailed scope of services is task 01 is preliminary selection of I&I mitigation project. In coordination with the sewer district, Lavelle will identify candidate sites for I&I mitigation projects located within the Washington County Sewer District number 2 contributing area. At this time, we anticipate that an I&I flow reduction of 400 GPD will be required. The selection of the I&I reduction project will be done based on publicly available ortho imagery and LiDAR topographic data. This data will be supplemented by field visits and by record data available from the WWCIDA. Survey services are not included under this task. We understand that the section of suitable I&I or selection of suitable I&I mitigation project is critical to the progress of this project. We will therefore not proceed with the remainder of the tasks in this proposal until a satisfactory I&I mitigation project has been identified and endorsed by the Warren Washington County IDA. Task 2 is utility survey. This task is a placeholder. Once I&I reduction projects have been selected under task 01, we'll be able to define the utility survey scope necessary to advance the plans and engineers report. At that time, we will prepare a technical services change order to update this task and the associated fee. Task 3 is flow monitoring using a Kester KAI. As a sub-consultant, we will install 3 area velocity flow meters with cell phone packages for a duration of 3 months, starting in the month to be determined. These units will be installed, calibrated, and the cell phone packages verified after the completion of the 3-month study. The equipment will be removed by KAI personnel. Data collected during the study will be broadcast to a server. Data will be able to be viewed and downloaded to a CSV file off this server to allow for importation into a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet.
Hey, Dan?
Prior to commencement, KAI reserve the right to inspect and review the designated sites with the owner and engineer. This is mandatory to prepare the proper equipment and find possible alternate sites should the original sites be deemed not accessible for flow monitoring. Confined entry will be performed by 2 KAI certified technicians. Any additional personnel deemed necessary shall be provided by the Washington County Sewer District number 2.
Hey, Dan,
Yes,
why don't you just do the highlights?
that's fine with me.
They all got a copy of it, so any questions they can ask.
All right, task 4, is concept design of sanitary sewer pump station force main. And they will prepare concept level design for this. Task 5 is concept design of the I&I mitigation project. They'll prepare a concept level design for the I&I mitigation project selected under task 01. And task 6 is the engineer's report. They'll prepare an engineer's report describing both sewer and the I&I mitigation project for suitable presentation to New York State DEC.
Nick?
This is
Hold on,
all.
Nick's got a question, Dan. Nick, you have a question?
I just want to go to the meat of the matter. I'm looking here at the page that says $83,300. I think engineer is spelled with 2 E's, so I'm going to depend on somebody like Dan Bruno because I think it looks like a good deal. However, on number 2, he talks about the fact that although it is possible that it will be necessary to exceed these amounts to complete the scope of service, are we going to have you, Dan, as the clerk of the works, if you will? Who's going to watch over this? I think this looks good. The number looks good, but I don't know. I can vote yes, but I'd want to have somebody as my right-hand man.
Right. That's it's up to the IDA, whoever is going to oversee this, if you will.
We got somebody. I know somebody. His picture is right under mine right now.
Okay. So any other questions on this? Remember, you have a $600,000 grant. It's all going to be paid for by grant funding.
And this sets us up with the engineering report that then any other work gets based upon. So we have
Right.
foundational material, correct?
Correct.
That's correct.
I'll need a
So
motion.
those are all the tasks. And as you can see in the spreadsheet, if you will, or table here, that result in that $83,000 fee.
Okay. So I'll need a motion to allow me to sign this.
I'll move it.
By Nick, do I have a second? Brian Campbell? Dan Bruto, all in favor?
I
Shouldn't be. We don't need a roll call.
We can, don't need one, but
You may.
Okay, Craig Leggett,
Yes.
Brian Campbell,
Yes.
Ginny Sullivan,
Yes.
Chuck Barton,
Yes.
Dan Bruno,
yes.
Nick Caimano,
Yes.
Dave O'Brien,
nowhere else. Okay, good.
Dave O'Brien,
Yes. Okay. Second item was resolution on the road. There was a resolution sent out to allow us to transfer the road to town of Fort Edward. In that was the finding that we're doing it because they're better appropriated to maintain and take care of the road, plus they'll get CHIPS funding for that road, so we've already submitted the ability to the appraisal for the ABO 90-day notice. So we'll see. I did find out there was something sticking in my head that we had to get done by the 1st of October. Well, the reason is that they have to have the road in their inventory so they can apply for CHIPS money for next year by 1st of October. So that's the reason why. So my memory isn't that bad, Carrie, just had the wrong thread. Okay. So a motion on that,
So moved.
Craig Leggett, second by Dan Bruno. Any further discussion?
I was wondering, since it's over $1 million and we're giving to Fort Edward, could they just take off what we owe them in taxes?
There
Good
you
luck.
go. I like that idea.
That ship sailed.
Brian's laughing.
All in favor?
I
Aye.
Carried. Okay. Did I miss anything that we need to cover, Ally or Kara? No, I need-
Nothing on my end.
everything on the agenda was covered.
Okay. Now I need a motion to go into executive session to talk about contractual expenses or contractual things and other matters that may came up. Do I have a motion?
Hi, Craig.
will move.
Moved by Dan. Do I have a second? Second by Nick. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I don't anticipate any coming out of this with any action today.